Green flag is now in the air, signaling that everything is ready for the starting procedure to begin. He surprised everybody and he goes into the race lead. Fantastic start. So, there's a big crash.
Ladies and gentlemen, race fans, hello and welcome to the Czech Republic. Here we are in Brno on the main straight, actually, of the Masaryk Circuit, the Czech home of the MotoGP races. But today we are going to start the final championship showdown, the final battle for the championship title in the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. The first race, the first out of three, is just about to start, and again we have the front row beautifully locked by blue and black cars of the Swiss team Jensen Motorsport. Just behind my back over there, it's Javier Herrera, the Mexican driver, actually in the third place in the championship standings. He is no longer in the championship title contention. From the second place, it will be another Mexican driver starting. This time it is Nicolas Cortez, so the front row is fully locked by Mexican drivers here in Brno for the first race of the final race weekend of the 2025 season of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. But as you can see, the most people, the most fans, the most Czech fans we do have here around this car, number 144, and the reason to me is just absolutely clear, because here in the third place on the starting grid we have Max Karhan, 17 years old, the Czech racing hero, who is going to fight for the championship title this weekend ahead or against his teammate Gino Trappa, starting from the fourth place. Let's take a closer look. On his helmet. I mean, Max helmet is absolutely brilliant. It's like Andy Warhol modern art. I absolutely love it. And Max Karhan will be starting the race from the third place. He is in the second place in the championship right now with 230 points to his name, and his main championship opponent is over there. Ladies and gentlemen, Gino Trappa, the championship leader, with 266 points to his name. So it will be a great fight between the Czech driver and the Argentinian driver. It will be a great fight between the two teammates racing for Jensen Motorsport, two drivers racing for the Swiss team, two teammates fighting each other for the championship title. And I believe Gino Trappa is going to do anything just to keep himself in the first place. 266 points to his name, as I told you already. And as we have 3 races to go, 3 races this weekend here in Brno, it means that the drivers can still fight for 75 points, and the difference is 35 points. So that only means that Max Karhan has to be better than Gino Trappa in every single race. As we can see, the grid is now being cleared, so we will also have to leave in a few seconds. I just need to tell you, we have 20 cars on the grid, including the Canadian female driver Nicole Haveda, and I believe many of you race fans know this name from this season's of F1 Academy. So we have a racing girl with a connection to the world of Formula 1, which is absolutely brilliant. I can't be more excited for this race. I believe you are excited too. And by the way, here we are also in the third row of the starting grid with number 188. It is Matilda Paz. So this is the best lady on the grid, actually. Matilda Paz is starting the race from the 5th place behind the wheel of this amazing black carbon fibered car with number 188. Matilda is racing for the family run Matilda Racing. So also best of luck to the best lady on the grid. Just next to her we have the best car entered by another Swiss team, Mafia Racing, with number 18. It is Andreas Lobue, and it was absolutely wonderful qualifying for Andreas. He is the newcomer to the championship. He is new in the series, and already for the final race weekend, for the first race of the final weekend, we have Andreas Lobue on P6. That's really, really good. As I told you, 20 cars on the grid, and we will be racing pretty soon. Make sure you are joining us for the first race of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship here in Brno on Masaryk Circuit.
Scéně Formule 4. A to nám může evokovat zlaté doby Tomáše Henkeho, Janka Janiše, Petry Krále, ale ze všech těch jezdců nejvíc nejenom proto, že se dostal až do Formule 1, ale zkrátka ten největší rváč a bojovník byl vždycky Tomáš Henke a ve své době byl fenoménem mnoha vítězů, mnoha vítězstvími ve Formule 3000, která v své době byla to samé, co je dneska Formule 2, či Formule 1.
So one more time, hello and welcome race fans. I wish you a beautiful Saturday from the Czech Republic, from Brno, from Masaryk Circuit, and here we are for the final race weekend of the 2025 Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship season, and we are ready and excited to witness the final championship showdown. It will be the great battle for the title between Gino Trappa and Max Karhan. Last year it was Oskar Wurz, the Austrian driver, the son of a Formula 1 driver and also Le Mans winner, who claimed the championship title. And it was a great weekend of celebrations for the Austrian colors, because the season last year ended on Salzburgring. So this time it should be, or it could be, a similar story. Czech driver celebrating the championship title on his home Czech soil, but it will be incredibly tough. By the way, this weekend on Salzburgring we do have ADSE GT Masters races, so greetings to our friends to Salzburgring. Also, we wish you to enjoy a beautiful race weekend in Austria on this amazing racetrack hidden between the Alpine hills. But here we are live in Brno, and I am here sitting in my commentary box just next to the main straight of the Masaryk Circuit, and we are ready to start the first of the 3 final races of the final weekend of the 2025 Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship season. Gino Trappa is the championship leader. That's why I said it will be incredibly tough for Max Karhan to claim the championship title. Trappa has 266 points, Karhan has 231 points, which means 35 points of difference between them, 75 points to play for. And here we are racing for the first time this weekend. Javier Herrera was starting from pole position. It was the front row lockup done by the Mexican drivers, and we already see some great racing action between the Jenser Motorsport drivers. I believe it is still Javier Herrera in the first place ahead of Nicolas Cortez. So these 2 Mexican drivers has been starting the race from the front row. Javier Herrera in front of Nicolas Cortez, and then we have another Jenser car, and look at this, it should be the German driver Matilda Paz trying to find her way to the front. So what a great start by the German driver Matilda Paz. She, just as Nicole Haverda I mentioned on the starting grid, she also has some experiences from F1 Academy. She's also connected to the world of Formula 1, which is really exciting for the young female driver. And it's so cool, so good to see these young and talented girls also racing between the best boys on the grid in Formula 4. This can be great opportunity how to start the single-seater career. Most of the drivers has come into the Formula 4 from the karting, so for most of these drivers this is the first step to the world or to the big world of racing. So maybe we are watching the stars of the future here, not only the stars of a future Formula 1 grid, but also of the other motorsport categories. But now let's check on the standings. We will be very much curious about the situation up in the front, because as I told you, we need to follow the fight for the championship title this weekend here in Brno, and it will be the great championship fight between Max Karhan and Gino Trappa. But look at the battles here. We are on the main straight again, so we can check on the results now. Max Karhan is in the second place. What a great start done by the Czech driver. Max Karhan in the second place, just behind Javier Herrera. Nicolas Cortez in the third place. Kirill Kutskov in fourth. It's also a great start by the driver racing under the flag of Kyrgyzstan. So Kirill Kutskov, well done. He is up into the fourth place now, and actually Kirill Kutskov has been starting the race from 8th place. So Kirill Kutskov gained 8 places over the first lap of the race. And where is Gino Trappa? Where is the championship leader? He is down in P6. So this wasn't a best start of Gino Trappa. But on the other hand, we do have Max Karhan in second place. So this looks really good for the Czech driver from the beginning of the race. But believe me, Max Karhan mostly needs to win this race to claim the full 25 points to make the gap between him and the championship leader Gino Trappa smaller. So right now it's Herrera, Karhan, Cortez, the top 3 drivers on the racetrack. Behind them Kutskov, then Matilda Paz in P5. She had a great starting reaction, so we do have Matilda Paz in 5th place. Great start by the German driver, and behind her it is Gino Trappa, the championship leader. Andreas Lobue in P7, the newcomer to the series, racing for Maffei Racing. So Andreas Lobue originally starting, I believe, from 6th place. Yes, I'm correct. So he dropped 1 position during the first 2 laps, but nevertheless still a good race for Andreas Lobue, and he is in the position to fight for maybe the top 5. We will see. Here we are on the main straight again. Javier Herrera leads the way ahead of Max Karhan. Nicolas Cortez still in the 3rd place. Kirill Kutskov in P4. Matilda Paz in P5. Gino Trappa still in P6. So Gino Trappa wasn't able to overtake Matilda Paz over the last lap. So he is still stuck behind the German driver. And so far it's really good result for Matilda Paz. But we still have 20 minutes to go in this race. And I believe there is plenty of action ahead of us. What about the lap times? Last time around, Nicolas Cortez was the fastest driver with 1:59.2. Nicolas Cortez is still in P3, and Max Karhan has been slightly faster than the race leader Javier Herrera, which means we do have 0.5 of a second between Javier Herrera and Max Karhan, and in the 2nd place. But also look for this battle here. We have plenty of cars fighting each other with 19.5 minutes to go here in Brno, and as you can see, there is one of the Yannick Motorsport cars leading this group, which means most likely this should be David Gorczyca. David Gorczyca is the Yannick Motorsport driver with number 88 on his Tatus T421 Formula 4 car, and David Gorczyca is at the moment in P10. So David Gorczyca is leading the 2nd half of the field with Simon Schranz, Nicole Haverda and František Němec closely behind him. So this could be a great fight for the 10th place here. It is this group I'm talking about. Meanwhile, up in the front of the race, Javier Herrera is pulling away slightly from Max Karhan. 0.7 of a second between Javier Herrera and Max Karhan. Nicolas Cortez behind them, and there is a gap of 1 second between Karhan and Cortez. So the Mexican driver racing for Jensen Motorsport still in the lead. Great start, great starting reaction done by the poleman Javier Herrera, leading the race ahead of the Czech driver and the championship contender Max Karhan. Nicolas Cortez in 3rd place, Kirill Kutskov P4, Matilda Paz still P5, and Gino Trappa behind Matilda Paz in 6th place. Not a good way how to start the race weekend for Gino Trappa. In some weekends this season, or during some weekends this season, Gino Trappa has been the most dominant race driver across the field of the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. For example, he won 2 out of 3 races in Most, but then on Slovakia Ring he won only 1 race, and that's the reason why the gap between Trappa and Karhan, if we are speaking about the points, is smaller. But look at this battle now. David Gorczyca needs to be defensive here. Oh, there was a huge lockup done by the Czech driver of Yannick Motorsport. Still the 10th place for David Gorczyca, but now he's about to lose this place, or not. He goes from the outside. He was really wide at the exit of the corner. Nice battle, 3 wide battle. In the climbing part of the circuit, we are in the final sector. The next corner will be to the left-hand side of the driver. And here we are, the top three drivers of this fight, still fighting each other. What a great battle between Gorčica, Šranc, and I believe it is also Nicole Haverda in the mix. So let's check on the standings here, and the fight still goes on. What a great fight for the 10th place now between these drivers. It's the fight for the final championship point, actually. So this is how the young guns are racing for 1 point in the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. Amazing. Here we can see Gino Trappa in the blue and the black car. And now I believe Gino Trappa overtook Matilda Paz. So it should be P5 for Gino Trappa now. Let's wait for the confirmation. But I believe Gino Trappa overtook Matilda Paz, which means the Argentinian championship leader should be in 5th place now. So finally for Gino Trappa, who has been stuck behind the German driver for 3.5 laps. 15 minutes to go. David Gorčica still in P10, but behind him it's Šranc, it's Haverda, it's Florentan Hattemer, and also Theodor Borenstein in the mix. So this is a great battle. And this is actually also number 8, which means this is the Macedonian driver, Stefan Treneski. So this is Stefan Treneski from Macedonia behind the wheel of red and white Janik Motorsport car. So this is the fight for 18th place at the moment. Here we have the Macedonian driver with number 8 on his left end plate of his rear wing. And I can see one of the Maffei cars behind Stefan Treneski. I believe it could be Nikolai Dirvet, the Danish driver, racing for Maffei Racing, for another Swiss team on the grid. So right now we are just about to see the fight for the 18th place between Stefan Treneski and Nikolai Dirvet at the end of the main straight, but this is not a good spot for overtaking, believe me. Nikolai Dirvet should be rather waiting towards the corner number 3. This is another group of cars, but behind them there is the fight between Treneski and Dirvet. And behind Dirvet it's only Igor Polak racing with number 5, the Polish driver racing also for Maffei Racing, just as Nikolai Dirvet. 13 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Up in the front has nothing changed so far. Javier Herrera in the lead of the race with gap over 0.8 of a second ahead of Max Karhan and Nicolas Cortez in P3. Then we've got Kirill Kutskov in P4, and according to the live timing we still have Matilda Paz in the 5th place. So even though there was a battle between Matilda Paz and Gino Trappa, the standings or the positions in the standings are unchanged at the moment. So Matilda Paz still in P5 with Gino Trappa behind her. So the position is still very good for Max Karhan. For the 2nd place you can get 18 points, and Max Karhan has had 231 before this race. So if I do a quick calculation, it would be actually 231 plus 18, which is 249. So if Max Karhan finishes the race in a P2, he will be on 249 points, and in the meantime 266 points of Gino Trappa plus 8 points for the 6th place, it would be 274. So if we do the difference here, 274 minus 249, it would be 25 points between these two drivers with 2 races to go, which means with 50 points still to play for. So if the championship contenders will finish the race like that, Max Karhan will still have a chance for claiming the championship title, because the difference would be only 25 points with still 50 points up to grab from the last 2 races. So the championship battle here is on, and right now Max Karhan is doing everything he needs to make the gap in the standings between him and his teammate from Janssen Motorsport as small as possible prior to the final 2 races of the race weekend here in Brno on Masaryk Circuit. The second race of the weekend will take place tomorrow at 10 hours and 10 minutes, and the final race will take place also tomorrow at 3 o'clock p.m. So tomorrow it will be the final championship showdown. 10 minutes to go, which means we are 15 minutes into the race right now, and last time around it was great lap done by Max Karhan, which means the gap between Max Karhan and Javier Herrera is only at the level of 0.5 of a second. So actually Max Karhan is getting closer to Javier Herrera now. So maybe even the fight for the first place is not over yet with 10 minutes to go. Of course, the drivers has to look after their tires. It's absolutely crucial to be gentle on the tires, because the amount of tires for the race weekend is strictly limited. So you always have to think also about what is going to happen the next day. You need to be smart on the track. But so far, good job done by Max Karhan. Good job done also by Javier Herrera, who has started the race from the pole position, and he's still in the lead. But Max Karhan, he gained 1 position after the start. He was in the 3rd place on the grid, so he had much better starting reaction than Gino Trappa, who dropped down the field to the 6th place. And he's still in the 6th place, and he is not even close to the striking distance if we speak about his possible attack on Matilda Parts. There is 1.8 seconds between Matilda Parts and Gino Trappa, so he's not even close to try at the moment. It's slightly surprising for me that Matilda Parts is being quicker than Gino Trappa at this stage of the race, but there are a lot of possibilities how to explain this. Maybe there was some slight contact after the start between Gino Trappa and some other drivers, so maybe the front wing performance may be compromised. We don't know that, but still we have Gino Trappa in 6th place. And look here, look at this battle. Max Karhan, he is closest he has ever been during this race, and right now he is putting some serious pressure. He is putting some serious pressure on Javier Herrera, and you can only see how badly wants the Max Karhan win this race, because he's trying to prepare for himself the best position for overtaking. It's important to avoid any lockups, to avoid any silly mistakes, because Max Karhan can't afford losing any points. He is in the 2nd place of the championship standings, so he needs to gain as many points as possible from this race, from the first race of the final weekend of the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship here in Brno. 7 minutes to go and nothing has been decided yet. Here we can see the difference between Matilda Paz and Gino Trappa at the end of the leading group, and it's quite a gap. It's quite a gap between the German female driver and Gino Trappa. 1 second and 0.2 of a second between these two drivers. So again, Gino Trappa not even close to the striking distance if he thinks about the possible overtaking of his opponent. But here we are, still in the fight. And mostly, of course, I'm talking about Max Karhan because he's racing for the championship title. But also, don't forget Nicolas Cortez. Don't forget Nicolas Cortez. He's also close. And we can't rule out that Nicolas Cortez will be trying it during the final 6 minutes. The gaps between the drivers up in the front are not that large, actually. Herrera, Karhan, Cortez, Kutskov and Paz. These are the top 5 drivers at the moment. The best result of Matilda Paz so far in this season was the 5th place, and she finished, or she has finished in 5th place 3 times, twice in Salzburg ring and once on the Slovakia ring during the previous race weekend. So she is here just about to equal her best result in this season so far. Good job by Matilda Paz. And we have the last 5 minutes of the race. The last 5 minutes of the race. The gaps between the top 3 drivers are decent now. So I can't see any problem for the leading driver, Javier Herrera now. Last time around, the gap between Herrera and Karhan was 0.8 of a second. So Max Karhan, he is simply unable to get closer behind Herrera. This is not a striking distance, not at all. Here we are again at the stadium section of the Masaryk Circuit. This is actually the most popular part of the racetrack among the fans. The C grandstand here is always fully packed for MotoGP races, and we are so happy that the MotoGP is back in Brno actually. So the young drivers from Formula 4 are racing the MotoGP Czech Grand Prix track, which is quite cool for these young guys. And it also means that they are enjoying very much new tarmac, which is completely smooth, and we are only getting a positive feedback on the tarmac here in Brno. So that's quite positive for all the drivers, that they are racing on basically completely new tarmac, on basically completely new racetrack. So 3 minutes to go now, or less than 3 minutes to go now, and I believe we are looking at the fight for the 7th place between Andreas Leboué and Bennett Gaspar. Andreas Leboué driving the number 18 car of Mafia Racing, and this is a bold move done by Bennett Gaspar, who overtakes Andreas Leboué, and Bennett Gaspar. Oh no, there was a crash! There was a contact between Bennett Gaspar and Andreas Leboué, and the Hungarian driver has spun around and he went off the track, but he is in the inside of the corner Fortunately, he is able to move away, so there is no need for a safety car, but it was a dramatic moment here with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. This was a close fight for the 7th place between Andreas Lobue and Bennett Gaspar, the Hungarian driver who was spun around. It's hard to judge whose mistake was that, but as I said, fortunately Bennett Gaspar has no damage, which means he's able to continue in this race. So there is no need for a safety car, there is no need for neutralization, and we can finish the race under the green flags. On the main straight again, and for the final time, with 50 seconds to go, we are entering the final lap of the race. And there is a change. There is a change actually. Javier Herrera is still in the lead, but Max Karvan is still in the second, but behind Max it's Kirill Kutskov. There are some troubles to the car of Nicolas Cortez, who is dropping down the order, and he's disappearing from the results. Nicolas Cortez, now he is in P14, so something has happened to the car of Nicolas Cortez, and that's a heartbreaking moment for the Mexican driver, because he was there fighting for the podium finish. Almost certainly he would end up on the podium this time, but most likely there is some technical issue to his car, so it means that the Mexican driver Nicolas Cortez will not be on the podium. So right now we can see him in 4th place on the live timing. So let's check the results after crossing the finish line. But still, Javier Herrera is going for the win ahead of Max Karhan, and after all it is Kirill Kutskov with number 31 racing for the podium here. Kirill Kutskov racing for Mafia Racing. He's not doing the full season. He joined on Slovakia ring where he won 2 races. But now let's wait and see. Let's wait for the checkered flag, and the race soon will be over. Javier Herrera in the final chicane of the racetrack, and he enters the main straight again here in Brno. And yes, we see the checkered flag here, so the race is over, and Javier Herrera wins the first race here in Brno ahead of Max Karhan. So it's 1-2 finish for Jensen Motorsport with Kirill Kutskov in P3 after all, after the troubles for Nicolas Cortez, who crossed the finish line in 4th place, just ahead of Matilda Paz in P5. Gino Trappa, the championship leader, only in 6th position at the end of the race. Hadi Mimasi in P7. Andreas Labue, after the contact with Bennett Gaspar, finished the race in 8th place. Simon Schranz in 9th place. David Gorčica in P10. Florentan Hattemer in P11. 12th place goes to Theodor Borenstein. The 3rd place goes to Nicole Havada, the Czech-Canadian driver, racing also in the Formula 1 Academy. The 15th place goes to Bennett Gaspar. Stefan Trenersky in P16. Chiara Henny in 17th place. František Němec in 18th. Igor Polak in P19 and Nikolai Dirvet in P20. So this was the first race of the final weekend of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship 2025 season here in Brno. Javier Herrera winning the race ahead of Max Karhan and Kirill Kutskov in third place. Plenty of action and plenty more to come in the rest of the weekend. The other two races we are going to watch tomorrow, and it will be the great championship showdown between Gino Trappa and Max Karhan. Thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of Saturday. Mostly, I hope, with some racing. Thank you very much.
Maxe Karána u stupňu vítězů. Maxi, mávám ti zvěže a gratuluju, skvělý závod. Jenom jsem to řekl, aeroplány jsou tady. Věřím, že to je pro vás nádherná podívaná, tichý, nádherný průlet. Pamatujeme tady na plzeňské stíhačky Gripen v minulosti při Grand Prix MotoGP. Teď tu máme tyto navíc domácí výroby. Auto NG, tak se jmenuje tato společnost, která tyto stroje vyrábí, a piloti Martin Odváčka a Michal Masaryk nám předvádějí tuto nádhernou eleganci.
Dámy a pánové, před námi vyhlášení dalšího závodu, který nám dojel teď před malinkou chvílí. Čeká nás, pokud se dobře dívám, trojí vyhlášení. To nejlepší nakonec, sleční, ženy, dámy. Tak tedy, na třetím místě v absolutním pořadí se umístil Kirill Kuckov. Na místě druhém za obrovského potlesku Max Karhan. A vítěze se stal win race Javier Herrera. Poprosíme také zástupce týmu Blitz Motorsport, nejlepší tým na pódium. Děkujeme. Jencer Motorsport na pódiu a na počest vítěze nám hraje mexická státní hymna. Na počest Javiera Herrery, mexického vítěze, celý přichází předat zástupci týmu Podium Švice, nebo našeho organizátora tohoto šampionátu, této soutěže. Tak tedy, na prvním místě Javier Herrera, na místě druhém Max Karhan, na místě třetím Kirill Kuckov. Congratulations! A nám právě přistávají letadla, to je velká paráda. Kdo z vás to má, přátelé? My tady. Gratulujeme. Já jsem právě před závodem chtěl říct, že tady asi moc šampaňského neuvidíme, nebo ještě nejsou úplně po doletí, ale dobře. Tak. Jenže Motorsport samozřejmě krásné pódium, takže tam se velmi slaví. Rookie Rockets, to je další třída, kterou teď vyhlásíme. Tam se na třetím místě umístil Theodor Bernstein. Na místě druhém David Gorčica. A vítězem se stal dres Simon Schranz. Na počest vítěze rakouská státní hymna. Tři nejrychlejší vítěz Simon Schranz na místě druhém, David Gorčica na místě třetím, Theodor Bernstein. Roky roket, tahle třída je odměňována právě v chvíli na členy pořádající organizace F4 CEZ. Nyní si vyhlásíme tři nejrychlejší ženy, slečny. Tady se na třetím místě umístila Michalina Sabaj. Na místě druhém Nicole Haverda. A to nejrychlejší Matilda Blitz. Na počest vítězky německá státní hymna. Ženy slečny chcete-li na startovní prošlu, respektive pardon výsledných vítězů, Michalina Sabaj, Nicole Haverda a Matilda Blitz. Tak a bylo řečeno, že tahle třída bude mít svoje ještě 2 závody, a to zítra. Což znamená, že startovní ročce bude opět potáčet u třetího závodu